What's up YouTube, it's your boy Nash here, welcome back to the channel, and for today's Yu-Gi-Oh news video, it is all about... What in the hell is up with my... Okay, something seriously going on with my laptop. Anyway, for today's video... It is all about one thing. Amazing Defenders, yes. So Amazing Defenders, we are going to be getting the new side set sometime this year. In the OCG, I know that the TCG will probably be getting it sometime next year. And the three archetypes that are part of the set, you have the RescueACE archetype. Excuse me. You've got the Puri archetype. And then you also have the Mekano archetype as well. And for this video, I'm going to be talking about the RescueACE archetype, which is a fire attribute. Archetype solely resembles the basically the fire department, if you will. You know the firefighters, if you will. So the types that are in the archetype, you have Warrior, Machine, and I think that's it. Yeah, it's just Warrior and Machine. So cards like Rhoda and Machine Dupe are going to be two of the biggest cards. Are going to be two of the main cards that you're going to want to use in your deck if you plan to run the RescueACE archetype. Not only that, but I'm also going to be talking about the first batch of reprints that will be in the set as well, because I figured, what the hell, why not? So hopefully you guys are ready to talk about this new archetype. If you guys are, and you guys want to see more Yu-Gi-Oh news videos in the future, which get posted on Tuesdays, sometimes on weekends, make sure you guys smash that thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel, turn on the notification bell. Follow me on all of my social media. Links will be in the description. And as always, if you guys have fan mail that you guys want to send me, all the info will be in the description as well. And if you guys notice the sun beaming on me, that's because it's like 7:45 in the morning right now. So yeah, I'm filming this pretty fucking early. Normally I do it around like 8:30, but couldn't get. Excuse me. Could not get enough sleep last night, unfortunately. Anyway, let's get straight into it. First up, we have RescueACE Impulse, which is a 3-star fire warrior with 1500 attack and defense, and both of its effects are once per turn. And the first effect reads: during your main phase, you can make the first effect, the one effect monster your opponent controls with the highest attack your choice of type, unable to activate its effects until on the field this turn. So it's essentially a imperm, basically. So when it's on board, you get to target. You get to choose one monster that your opponent has on board, and negate its effects until the end of the turn. Which it sounds good on paper, but if your opponent doesn't have an out to it, like say they don't have, I'll say, an interdimensional matter transporter or anything, or some way to bring the monster out, like tag it out or something like that, then essentially the monster in question is just fucked. Plain simple. Second effect reads: when your opponent activates a monster effect on the field as a quick effect, you contribute this card from your hand or field, special summon a Machine RescueACE from your deck. So it basically just gives you access to tag out for one of the machines, which actually could be literally anything at this point. And there's a few. There's Hydrant, there's Fire Attacker, and there's also Fire Engine, which is basically, which I think is like, is the second boss monster of the deck. And this one, RescueACE Turbulence, is the main boss monster for the whole deck. I don't think there are any extra deck cards. Yeah, there really aren't any at all, so that's pretty crazy. That's pretty crazy that there aren't any extra deck monsters. I'm assuming we might get extra deck monsters at some point. Perhaps like in a future set where it revolves around the fire attribute. It's a possibility, but I'm not holding my breath on that one. But it basically gives you access to tag out Impulse, and then just go directly into pretty much any of the RescueACE machines that you have at your disposal. Another machine that you can also go into, which I will talk about here in a little bit. Oh, never mind. I would say you could go into RescueACE Intruder, but unfortunately it's not a machine, it's a warrior. So, but I will get to Intruder in a little bit. But again, yeah. But again, with this effect, you get to basically just tag out. Plain simple. That's actually pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Next up, we have RescueACE Air Hoister, which is a 4-star fire warrior. I was gonna say water, but no. Excuse me. I'm so fucking tired. Anyway, 4-star fire warrior, 1700 attack and defense, and both of its effects are once per turn. First effect reads, if this card is normal special summon, you can add a RescueACE spell or trap from your deck to your hand. Second effect reads, when your opponent activates a monster effect on the field as a quick effect, tribute this card from your hand or field, special summon a RescueACE monster from your hand except this card. Okay, so basically I believe they all have the same second effect. I think Impulse and Hoister are the only two that have yeah. Excuse me. Seriously, I gotta stop yawning. Seriously, please stop yawning. Anyway, so this is basically your Stratos for the whole deck. This is basically your combo starter. So when you normal summon Hoister, you get to add any RescueACE spell from your deck to your hand, which is the only spells that you can potentially add to your hand are RescueACE Headquarters, which is the field spell. You have Rescue, which is the quick play spell, and then Alert, which is the other quick play spell. So those are the three spells that you could add. The traps, you cannot add the traps, unfortunately, but the traps actually look pretty cool. The artworks look pretty cool, but the second effect, it just lets you tag out during your opponent's turn, or even if your opponent were to activate, I'll say a board load Savage Dragon, and you could just go ahead and just summon out the boss monster like that, and you're pretty much just off to the races there, which is really cool. Next up, we have RescueACE Hydrant, which is a 1-star fire machine with 0 attack and defense, and the second and third effects are once per turn. And the first effect reads, your opponent cannot target this card for attacks or with card effects while you control a RescueACE monster other than this card. Second effect reads, you can activate a quick play spell or trap this turn, the turn it is set by your RescueACE card's effect. Third effect reads, during your main phase you can add a RescueACE monster from your deck to your hand except this card. So basically this is basically your Rhoda for the whole deck, and what's cool about this card is that it has 0 attack and defense. Well, it's the one card that allows you to to summon multiple copies of the same card with those attack stats. You guys don't know? Damn. Maybe you guys should have took a look at my Cyber Dragon deck on my Instagram. Because the card that I'm referring to is Machine Duplication. Machine Dupe. Literally the best card in the deck is hands down the Machine Dupe. So again, as I said, cards like Machine Dupe, cards like 1-for-1, cards like what's the one? I would say Fire Formation Techie, but that only works on Beast Warrior. That only works on Beast Warriors. There was another one I can't remember, but those cards are gonna be the main cards that you're gonna be using for this deck, and the best, and again as I said, it's a Rhoda. It's a Rhoda. You're able to activate your back row the turn they're set, so it's like a it's like a what you call it? Excuse me. Kind of like a Shade Brigadine effect, if you will, which is actually pretty cool. And the best part is that it can protect itself from battle or card effects as long as you have another Rescue Ace on board, which is actually pretty cool. Next up, we have RescueACE Fire Attacker, which is a 6-star fire machine with 2200 attack and defense, and both of its effects are once per turn. And the first effect reads: if a RescueACE monster other than this card is normal or special summoned to your field, you can special summon this card from your hand. So you essentially just have another Cyber Dragon, which is really nice. The second effect reads: if a card or cards is added to your opponent's hand except by drawing them, you can draw 2 cards, then send 1 card from your hand to the grave. So it essentially acts as a Cyber Dragon Graceful Charity, which is actually pretty good. And the best part is that if you're able to summon out a tuner monster, you can go into a level 7 play. I think Shooting Riser is a level 7. Or no. You can go into FA Dawn Dragster, and you're able to just pop off from there, which is really cool. So this effect is basically a Graceful Charity, but what's even more cool about it is that, excuse me, is that you can take one of your bricks, send it to your graveyard, and if it's a monster that you bricked on, you can activate Monster Reborn, resummon that monster, and then just link it off into a Nightmare Phoenix, a Nightmare Unicorn, pretty much whatever you have at your disposal, which is nutty. It's pretty nutty, I have to admit. This is another one of those decks I might play, but I don't really know what ratios these would be in. If I had to guess, I would probably say Impulse at 3, Air Hoister at 3, Hydra definitely at 3 because of the Machine Dupe, and then of course Fire Attacker probably at a 2, only because you don't really want to break on Attacker as much as you want, basically. Next up, we have RescueACE Fire Engine, which is the second to first boss monster, which is going to be a nutty effects. Nutty effects, people. Nutty effects. 7-star fire machine. 2500 attack and defense, and both defense effects are once per turn. And the first effect reads, if a RescueACE monster other than this card is normal special summon to your field, you can special summon this card from your hand. So it basically acts as yet another Cyber Dragon, which is really nice. But the second effect is where it really gets interesting. If a monster is special summoned to your opponent's field, you can special summon a level 4 or lower RescueACE from your hand, deck, or graveyard. It's basically a Cyber Rev system on steroids. So with Cyber Rev system, it's from the hand or the graveyard. With this effect, it's from the hand, deck, or graveyard. So it really doesn't matter. You're able to just summon out pretty much any of your 4-star monsters, in which the main card you're going to want to summon the most is Air Hoister, because when it's special summoned, you can add a spell from your deck to your hand, which you're most likely going to go after the field spell. If you didn't have Terraforming, then Air Hoister basically acts as your Terraforming. So you don't really need Terraforming. You just need Air Hoister, and you're pretty much just good to go, which is pretty nuts. Now we move on to RescueACE Turbulence, which is a 9-star fire machine with 3000 attack and defense, and all 3 of its effects are once per turn. The first effect reads you can banish 2 RescueACE monsters from your grave, special summon this card from your hand. So basically, this is basically your chaos monster, your BLS envoy for the whole deck, which is pretty cool. Second effect reads, during your main phase, you can set up to 4 RescueACE quick-based spells and or normal traps with different names directly from your deck. Holy shit. And the best part is that if you have, where is it? If you have Hydra on board, you can activate them during the turn they're set, which is nutty. And then the third effect reads, if another card you control leaves the field by an opponent's card effect, you can target a card on the field and destroy it. So this is basically your board. This is basically your board wipe for the whole deck, especially if your opponent activates, I'll say Harpy's Feather Duster. You get to pop one of their back row as well for good measure, which is not too bad, I have to admit. Not too bad at all. Next, now moving on into the spells. So first up, we have RescueACE Headquarters, which is the field spell, and it has 3 separate effects. The first effect reads, RescueACE monsters you control gain 500 attack and defense while your opponent controls a monster. The second effect reads, during your main phase, you can normal summon a RescueACE monster in addition to your normal summon or set, and you can only gain the effect once per turn. Third effect reads, once per turn, you can target 4 of your RescueACE cards that are banished or in your grave, shuffle them into the deck, then draw 1 card. It's essentially a pot of avarice, but instead of the graveyard, it's from the banished pile, and instead of drawing 2 cards, you're only drawing 1, which is actually pretty cool. And the second effect, it's a double summon. It's a double summon. So if you were to normal summon, let's say, I'll say your Impulse. Let's say you were to summon your Impulse first, and then you normal summon the Hoister. Even it really doesn't matter which one you summon first. Either way, you're still going to be getting the Spell Trap Rhoda effect off of the Hoister, which is not too bad. Obviously, yes, there are multiple outs to it. You know, cards like cards like Ash Blossom and Salt. Of course, too, the Solemns and Fiendish Chain are still in the format. But as long as you have outs to their outs, then you will be able to combo off and just go ballistic with this deck. Next up, we have Rescue, which is a quick play spell, and it reads, this card is always treated as a RescueACE card, and you can only activate the effect once per turn. Which reads, target 1 RescueACE monster in your grave. If you control a RescueACE Hydrant, you can target a monster in your opponent's grave instead. special summon to your field. So it's essentially a Monster Reborn. That's all it is. That's all it is. It's your Monster Reborn for the whole deck. Not much else to say about that. Next up, we have Alert, which is also equipped by spell, and is also treated as a RescueACE card, which reads, add one RescueACE monster from your grave to your hand, or if you control Hydrant, you can add the monster from your deck instead. So Rescue is your Monster Reborn, Alert is your Rhoda, but you can also add Rhoda to your ranks as well. I think Special Schedule might be a card you can add. I don't know if Special Schedule might work with this deck. I'm gonna have to take a look. Special Schedule, target a machine monster in your grave with 3,000 or more attack. Okay, never mind. Let's try Urgent Schedule. Nope. Earth machines only, fortunately. Fortunately, it's only Earth machines, but there was one that allowed you to add machines from your deck to your hand. I don't remember what it was. I want to say it was Special Schedule, but that only works with monsters that have 3,000 or more. So, but still, this is basically your Rhoda for the whole deck, which is really nice. Now moving on into the traps. I believe there are 2. Yeah, I thought so. Yeah, there are 2 traps. The first one is called Contain, which is a normal trap, and as always, it's also treated as a RescueACE card, which reads, which reads, if you control a RescueACE monster, target one effect monster your opponent controls, it cannot attack, its effects are negated, and if you control Hydrant, it cannot be used as material for a fusion, synchro, exceeds, or link summon. These effects last until the end of the turn. So this is basically your dimensional barrier. Your dimensional barrier for the whole deck, which is nutty. It locks your opponent out of using that one monster to fusion summon, synchro, whatever they want to do, they can't use it. So if they don't have an out to this, they're fucked. They are fucked. Easily. And last but not least, for the traps, we have Extinguish, which is a normal trap, and it reads, if you control a RescueACE monster, target one effect monster your opponent controls, destroy. And if you control Hydrant, your opponent cannot activate the effects of destroyed monster as well as monsters with the same original name. So this is basically your trap hole for the deck. I don't know if it would be relevant, but I mean it's pretty cool. For the first reprint of this video, we have Gizmek Naganaki, the Sunrise Signaler. It's the first reprint. Now moving on to the other new monster, which is known as RescueACE Intruder, which is a 4-star fire warrior with 1,800 attack and defense, and both of its effects are once per turn. Which reads, if this card is normal or special summon, you can add one RescueACE trap from your deck to your hand. Second effect reads, when your opponent activates a monster effect on the field as a quick effect, you contribute this card from your hand or field, target one RescueACE monster in your grave, and special summon it. And of course, you cannot summon Intruder as well. So let's see what. So let's recap. I believe. So Air Hoister adds spells from your deck to your hand. Intruder adds traps from your deck to your hand, and you're able to tag out for any other RescueACE monster that you may have at your disposal, which is really nice. Now for the reprints of the deck, or at least the first batch of reprints. As I said, we've got Gizmek and Naganaki, the Sunrise Signaler. We have Infernoble Knight Renaud. We obviously Rhoda, Reinforcement of the Army, and Infernoble Arms Durandal, which is basically your searcher for the whole deck, and that was what I was talking about, the Durandal. But yeah. So I believe there aren't any other cards to talk about as far for the RescueACE archetype. I could be wrong, but we'll see. But we will see. Yeah, I think that's pretty much all of them. So that brings me to the question of the day. What are you guys' thoughts on the RescueACE archetype, and do you guys think the deck will be meta upon the set release? Let me know down in the comments below. And that will do it for today's video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure you guys smash that thumbs up button. If you guys are new to the channel and you guys want to see more Yu-Gi-Oh news videos, which get posted every Tuesday, sometimes on weekends, make sure you guys subscribe to the channel and turn on the notification bell so you guys do not miss out on any new content that comes your way. And as always, make sure you guys follow me on all of my social media. Links will be in the description below, as will the info to my fan mail. It will also be in the description as well, if you guys have any fan mail that you guys want to send me, of course. And on that, this is your boy Nash, signing out.